Arsenal remain interested in €60 million rated Real Madrid attacker, report. Real Madrid forward Rodrygo Goes ended a long-running goal drought earlier this week when he scored in the 1-2 defeat against Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabeu. The 24-year-old attacker has endured a torrid year at the club and has found himself consistently linked with a move away. During the summer, the chances of an exit seemed high, with top clubs from the Premier League, including Arsenal, showing an interest. However, the player decided to stay put and fight for his place at Real Madrid, although things have not gone according to plans for him. Arsenal haven't forgotten about Rodrygo. Now, according to reports relayed by AS, Arsenal have not forgotten about Rodrygo, and the Real Madrid forward still remains on the Premier League giants' radars. Indeed, the Gunners are expected to enter the market for a new winger in the summer of 2026 and have the Brazilian international as one of their options. Arsenal still keen on Rodrygo. Along with Rodrygo, Arsenal are also looking at AC Milan and Portuguese attacker Rafael Leao as a potential target. So far this season, the 24-year-old forward has played in 18 matches in all competitions, clocking only 572 minutes, in which he has 1 goal and 2 assists, all of which have come in the UEFA Champions League. Despite his struggles, Rodrygo remains highly appreciated in the Premier League, with Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola also very much keeping an eye on him. Now, it appears that Arsenal too retain an interest in the former Santos FC sensation, who has a contract at the Santiago Bernabeu until the summer of 2028. There is still a lot of time to go for the summer transfer window, and a lot of things can change for Rodrygo, especially with Xabi Alonso's job at the club far from secure. So, it will be interesting to see how things develop and whether the Brazilian international ends up moving on from the Bernabeu next year. Mikel Arteta told to play £52 million star as Arsenal striker, ahead of Victor Gyökeres. Tony Cascarino believes that a surprise Arsenal star could play as a striker, as Mikel Arteta attempts to find a permanent solution for the position. Arsenal are having a great season, top of the Premier League and Champions League tables, and through to the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. Their form has slumped of late though, winning just 2 of their last 5 league games, while Arteta has been dealing with an ever-growing injury crisis. Fitness issues have plagued the team's center forwards, with Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus missing nearly all of the season so far, while Victor Gyökeres has also just returned from a muscle problem. As a result, midfielder Mikel Merino has been used as a makeshift number 9 to good effect, recording 7 goal contributions in the last 8 games. But this form has also highlighted Gyökeres's shortcomings. The £64 million summer signing was meant to be the solution to Arsenal's striker problem, but while his work off the ball has been good, he's found the back of the net just 6 times in 18 appearances. It remains to be seen who starts when the Gunners host bottom-of-the-table Wolves on Saturday night, but Cascarino has suggested an alternative option should be given a chance to play up top. I wouldn't say he's had a difficult time, he just hasn't hit the ground running as expected, the former Chelsea striker said on TalkSport. He's not going to get 25 goals this season, but I think over time he'll gradually give a lot more to Arsenal. I think it's going to be a slow burner for him. No one's nailed down the number 9 spot at Arsenal. We've had Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, they'll be available. Jesus has already come back into the team this week. It's a nice problem for Mikel Arteta because anyone who hits form will get that position. I'll fire a spanner in the works here. I saw quite a lot of him at Chelsea. I actually think Noni Madueke could play center forward. He's got all the qualities, that directness, sees the whites of the post, sees an opportunity to score a goal. I think he's got that in his locker. People might go, that's not an option, but I watch him play and I think he's got so many things that are good for a player to get goals. So, from Merino to Havertz to Gabriel Jesus to Gyökeres, Arteta is going to have a lot of choice there. It's finding the right blend, who fits in at a certain time. Arsenal saw their lead at the top whittled down to just 2 points following last weekend's defeat at Aston Villa. With Manchester City now looking far more like their old selves, suddenly the Premier League title race is starting to take a very familiar shape. The Gunners' next 7 games could tell us a lot about whether they're ready to go the distance this time, given they dropped 13 points from the corresponding fixtures last season. Many fans were skeptical of Madueke's £52 million move from Chelsea last summer, but the winger has quickly won over the Aramais faithful, bagging a brace in the last match against Club Brugge. The England international has been used on both flanks throughout his career, but almost never in a central role. But given his good form, Arteta may be tempted to start him alongside, not instead of, the other top wingers like Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard. It wasn't just with his goals that Madueke made an impact. He did really well throughout the game and showed he is ready to do a job when he is called upon, former Chelsea striker Chris Sutton said on BBC Match of the Night after the Club Brugge win. More and more, Madueke looks like a really smart signing. I already thought he was a loss to Chelsea, but you are seeing now that he is back from injury that Arsenal can have Saka off that right side or use Madueke. It bodes really well for them with such a busy period coming up. Real Madrid transfer raid as Pep Guardiola fires warning. Arsenal continue to lead the Premier League by 2 points with a trip to the Hill Dickinson Stadium up next for the title challengers. Arsenal are gearing up for a busy end of December with games coming fast and thick in the next few weeks. Mikel Arteta's side have 4 games before the end of the year, with Everton, Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Aston Villa all up next. The Gunners continue to lead both the Premier League and Champions League table, with just 2 losses across 22 games in all competitions. However, the league title race is very much heating up, with Manchester City winning their last 4 games to keep the pressure on Arsenal at the top of the table. Arteta will hope his squad can continue to secure wins before the new year as he lines up some signings to boost the team's chances of silverware success in 2026. Here, Mirror Football has all the latest coming out of North London. Jamie Carragher disagrees with Pep Guardiola on Man City star Arsenal should fear. Gary Neville sent Arsenal clear warning after Mikel Arteta's unacceptable admission. Arteta targets Madrid duo. During the summer transfer window, Arsenal were reportedly aiming for a potential bid for Brazilian forward Rodrygo. The Gunners were consistently linked with the Real Madrid star throughout the summer, but he ultimately stayed in Spain for the 2025-26 season. A fee of £78 million is what is reportedly likely to be needed to pry the attacker from the Bernabeu, with Liverpool also said to be interested in signing the 24-year-old. But it isn't just Rodrygo Arsenal are interested in signing from Real Madrid, with fresh reports claiming they also want Victor Valdepeñas. According to ESPN Deportes, the 19-year-old defender is a target of Arsenal's, with Borussia Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen also said to be keen. However, Madrid boss Xabi Alonso may be eager to keep the star in his ranks after praising the youngster following his debut against Alaves. Despite making a mistake that led to the equalizer for Alaves, Alonso said, "We conceded on the only occasion that Valdepeñas made a mistake, because in all the others he was very accurate and played very well. But then the team continued to stand up and fight, battling hard in a difficult stadium against a very intense opponent. We got that second goal that gave us the 3 points, and we're leaving here happy." Pep Guardiola's latest title warning. Pep Guardiola has fired a new warning to Arsenal, claiming his young City stars have the ability to become legends of the club. Following a 3-0 win over Crystal Palace, the Spaniard believes his side is only going to improve from here and have the ability to go all the way. He said, "We are improving, new players came along and adapted many things. My only dream as a manager is be ourselves all the time.
perform like we are working and talking and doing, and this is, I think, the reason why we had Vincent, we had Kyle, all the players who have been legends in this club had the composure. I had the feeling that we are getting better, and this is what we want to feel. Today was 0-3, but against Sunderland we won 3-0, and we were good against Sunderland for 95 minutes. I can't expect Palace don't have chances, or we lose the ball on transitions, because they were the FA Cup winners. But how we approach, how aggressive we are, that made me so happy. Of course, we are really pleased because I know how tough they are. To make 0-3 here is a great statement for us. Highlighting his team's resilience in previous title races, Guardiola added, "From experience, when you win in the past, you believe the past is always perfect, brilliant red carpets. When we won 100